Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl CheKesha Simms, and I'm here today because I am doing a DIY using some materials that came with the VB kit for the month of September, Magical Plans. So if you want to see what I got going on, keep watching. So before I get started, I do want to go ahead and welcome all of my first time viewers. If this is your first time, make sure you go ahead and drop a purple heart in the comments box. And as well, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification button so you will never miss any of my videos. Okay, so this week I am going to make a micro notes using some of the digital papers from the most recent September kit from Villa Beautiful. And if you don't know what a micro notes is, it's basically the smaller size planner that has 4 discs. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to get mine started and show you all of the essentials that you will need. All right, first you will need 4 discs, and depending on how chunky you want it will determine whether you need just the regular mini disc, the classic disc, or the expander disc. I am using some leftover silver discs that I had, and this is for the classic size. This is the plastic, it's not the metal, so I have 4 of those. Then you would need some type of heavy duty paper. This is it's not cardstock, but this is like the thicker paper that I use for my TN inserts. So you would need however many that you want to make. I printed off 3 because I'm not really sure what cover I'll be using. You'll also need your laminator and your laminate pouches. I use the Scotch laminator, which I got from Target, and of course if you have the Target red card you can get it for right at $20. And I use the thermal laminate pouches, and I use the 3mm. I know a lot of people ask. They do come in 5mm, which is a little bit thicker, but I like to use the 3 because it's easier to punch when you're trying to punch holes. And you will also need some type of disc bound puncher, and I do have my Happy Planner. This is the classic size that I use to punch all of my classic or my Happy Planner papers. And then you would need a tool like a slicer so you can cut your cover, or if you're good with scissors you can just use some scissors, and that's just so you can get a very precise cut. And then lastly you would need some micro notes paper. You can either use the Happy Planner paper, or you can just cut your own sheets of paper if you like, or if you have some printables you can use those as well. But I wanted to be able to mix and match the black with the ones that had the different color dots on there. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I am using Canva.com, which is a free as well as paid app. I do have the free option, and this is what I use for my thumbnails and as well as creating some other things. So what I'm doing right now is creating the custom dimensions for the Happy Notes, which is 3 by 4 inches, and then I just click on the create. Now I have already uploaded the images from the digital and the die cuts with the clip arts that came with the paper pack. And if you're interested in seeing how to actually do that, I will leave a link to one of my fellow VB design team members where she showed how she actually took the file and added all of the images onto Canva. So now this is my actual first time creating an image like this, so bear with me. I was trying to play around with some different options, and I chose this paper. And as you can see, I changed the transparency because I didn't want it really bold. So now I'm just going to drag a couple of the different clip art pieces until I figure out exactly the look that I'm going for. But I did want to just show you how you can pull and drag and make it the size where you want to. Now when you are dropping images, you just have to be careful because it will do like it's doing now, creating a whole white thing. So I just kind of kept playing around with it until it dropped exactly how I wanted it to drop. So now I've kind of decided on these flowers, and what I'm doing now is just rotating it. And what I did was click duplicate. That way I don't have to keep fiddling with dragging and dropping and things like that. And as you can see, is every time I do a movement, I like to click out on the right side just to kind of move my mouse around. So now I'm just going and looking for some fonts now. So these are all the pre-selected fonts that you have. So if you're not really sure of how you want it to look, you can use some of these. And I'm going to kind of show you how it works. And when you pick these options, it comes exactly how it looks. So when you have smaller letters, bigger letters, you'll see that you have some different elements on there. So I was wanted to go with this at first, and I really didn't want to keep the hold, and I hit undo because I didn't mean to delete the whole thing. So you want to go with deleting the element, because if you delete the group, it's going to delete everything. So I wanted to play around with this particular font. So I decided to write plan it, write it, live it, because that's what we do as planners. We make our plan, we write it down, and we live it out. So I decided to just kind of play around with the different looks with this font. Now I don't want to keep my font black, so I am going to click that big A, which gives you the option to change the colors. And I really didn't have to highlight it, because as long as that blue box is around it, you can pretty much change the colors in which you see me doing now. And again, like I said, I'm just doing this for the first time in this capacity, so I'm playing around with it myself as I'm creating. So now just kind of moving it around, and I really don't care for the font. So I decided, well, one, I wanted to change the color because I wanted it to be more of like that kind of deeper purple that's in the background of the actual image. So I want to change the size around just to kind of see how I like it. And that button basically either makes it all lowercase or all uppercase. And so I'm just kind of scrolling through just to let you see some more of the little options. But again, I don't want any of those fonts. So I'm actually going to speed this part up because I was very indecisive about the font style that I wanted to use. But this also gives you an opportunity to see how it works. Like I said, you don't have to highlight the words. As long as that blue box is around the script that you're working with, all you have to do is keep playing with it. And like you see, I'm just playing around trying to find what works. I really didn't have any type of game plan. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what image and clip art and all of that stuff I wanted to use. So I will be playing around with this just a little bit more until I figure it out. I really like this font, but I think I ended up choosing something different to start with. And I am going to actually make 2 more images, because I am making a front and a back cover, and I wanted to do a third one just in case what I was creating wasn't what I really wanted. I always believe in myself having a backup, so that's why I'm creating 3. So this first one, like I said, I'm playing around with the different sizes, and when I went back to that double A button, you see that it made it all uppercase. And I'm still kind of fooling around with it. Yeah. And see, when you hit that A again, it changes the size. I think I kind of settled on this script while I'm doing the voiceover. I don't even know. I have that paper laying around here somewhere, but I just don't know where it is. So yeah, I think I settled on that script. So now I'm just going to center it, make it a little bit bigger, move it around. And this is a very user-friendly app. Like I said, I use this to create my thumbnails for my YouTube videos, and I use this to create my channel art for my actual YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust these flowers a little bit, kind of figure out what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to go ahead and publish it and download, and this will download it to my computer, and you see that box at the bottom. I could open it now, but I want to go ahead and finish creating my images. I really like the flowers, so I'm going to keep the flower theme going. And I wanted to use this crystal ball. because I thought it was really cute. And plus with the digital, she does have different skin tones, so you can use the tone that's closest to you. Hi, look at my little pictures down there. So y'all can see I do use this. So now I'm going to go ahead and look for some fonts because I want to put Her Lovely Plan in the crystal ball. And again, I'm just using the little section there. And you can use those top four where it says add headers to kind of start you off with your scripts. And again, you saw what I just did when I highlighted that one area, it changed the font, but technically I don't have to highlight it. Like I said, I'm kind of learning this on the fly for this particular project that I'm doing. And sometimes I like to do projects like this, like it's learn as we go. You're watching this, I'm learning as I'm creating this. So now I'm just changing the font size so I can fit it all inside that ball. I don't want it to stack each other. I want it to go completely across. So I've pretty much figured out the layout of how I want Her Lovely Plan to appear in the crystal ball. So now it's about just finding the font. And I was really excited when I did this. I was like, well, I'm doing something. Okay. And I want to shout out AD. She did inspire me to do this when we had our VB Studio kits. We all have projects that we have to do. And when I figured out how to create my own by using Canva, as well as learning how to download and upload the images, I'm going to be doing this a lot. So I am downloading. So now you see that I have 2, and I just keep it there at the bottom. And then this last one, I'm just going to make it really plain. I'm going to delete all of that stuff. Play around with the flowers, make them a little bit bigger because this is going to be the back cover. So I don't necessarily need any scripts. I decided to hit undo and bring the other flower back because I wanted to keep them in the format that they were. So I'm going to go ahead and click publish, download, and I always use the recommended download. And this is just me showing you how to open them up. And this is what it looks like. And so once I do that, I'll go ahead and print it so I can go ahead and cut them. All right, so now that you have seen how I use the digitals along with some of the clip arts to make the 3 different designs that I'm going to use, we're going to go ahead and get these cut. Now they do look super tiny, but never fear, it's a micro note, so it is going to be small. So I think I'm going to put this one on the front and use this one as the back cover, and I might just use this as some type of like divider or just pocket it inside. So now I'm going to go ahead and get these cut down to size, and I will speed this part up because it's kind of boring. All right, so now that I have these all nice and cut out, I can go ahead and put them in my laminate pouches. And as you can see, I did leave a little bit of white trim. That's just my preference. If you want it cut exactly to size, you can do so. But I like just a little bit of white trim. That's just me. So we're going to go ahead. First, I want to create pockets for these because y'all know I like to do my pockets, and I did get a request to do it a little bit slower, so I'm going to show you how I make my pockets and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and set these to the side, and let me go ahead and get my laminate out. So this one I'm going to use for the to laminate the actual paper, and I thought I had some extra pieces that I had left lingering around, but I didn't. So we're going to go ahead and just cut this from scratch. So I know that since this is the back of it, I don't want my pocket to be too huge because I'm going to have to punch holes in it as well. So this leftover piece that's left, this is about the size of the pocket width wise that I'm going to create. So I am going to go ahead And let's see, I'm gonna just cut this bottom part off. And you guys can make your pockets however you want to, but I'm gonna just show you my standard size that I create. So we're gonna go ahead and, hold on, slice this downwards. And you always wanna follow the scissors that's open-ended because that's the sharpest point of the blade. So we have this cut, and I'm gonna save that for another time. So this should be able to give me quite a few different pockets. And I don't really, I mean, if you need to mark it for your eyes, you can, but typically I use my guide paper to kind of let me know where I want to cut at, because the groove right here is where where your actual blade will go and run down. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the first one, and that was super easy. And now that I have my guide, I can use that one to cut the others. And what I am going to do is I'm going to round the bottom of all of these. You don't have to. Sometimes I round my pockets at the bottom and sometimes I don't. But this time around I am going to. And one thing about laminate, you do want to make sure that you have a clean surface because it picks up everything. Sometimes I keep dry sheets around just so I can wipe them down, but other times I don't. So now this extra step, like I said, you don't have to. You can leave it square, but since this one is rounded, I kind of want to round all the other ones. So I have a corner rounder in all different sizes, but this is the small size that I typically use. And all you're doing is just making sure you get it right up under that part where it cuts. Sometimes I have a hard time, and you see it's rounded just like the other side. And I'm going to do the same here. And see how sometimes it does that. And it could be that the blade is dull, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll go ahead and do the other side. And sometimes it's because if you get, I don't know if you can see. Let me see. This is two little slits that you could put it in, and actually it's meant to go in the further side, but sometimes it's easy to get stuck in that top layer. So sometimes that's what happens to me. It gets stuck in that top layer. That's why you got to be very mindful when you're doing that. And like I said, sometimes it doesn't cooperate, but sometimes operating in imperfections is better than operating in perfection. Because when you're trying to be perfect with everything, you end up throwing away so much stuff. And I don't got time to be throwing away nothing. So just trim that little part off. So I'm going to show you how I do the pockets once I get all of my papers laid down. So you always want to, I load my stuff in this way, so I always keep the binded side to the left of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and you want to be careful opening it up because it will, because it's so flat, and I don't know if you'll see, it'll cause like little crimples in the paper. All right, and since I am doing pockets, I'm going to lay all of these face down. And I think I'm going to let this one be like a middle part, but I'm going to just still put it over here. And my desk space is really, really small, so you probably can't see everything. And I'm missing one. Oh, here it is. Got mixed up. Let's see. All three should be able to fit in here just right. And I'm not going to cut any of this out because you all have asked me to go through this very slowly. Had a couple of people at the Planning a Better Me retreat ask me to do this in slow-mo. So even though I'm not making dashboard covers, it's the same concept if you are making a dashboard cover, what I'm using. And I'm just kind of stick this under something to keep this from moving because it's doing a lot of moving, y'all. Let's see. Out of frame, hold on. And I don't want to be out of frame because you guys don't like me being out of frame. All right, so let's go ahead and do these pockets. So the key to the pocket so you can open it, it's real easy, no rocket science. If you try to do a whole bunch of extra, you're going to confuse yourself. Just lift the top part and just move it to the back. And what that does is cause the glossy sides to be touching each other, and it will make it a little slippery. So that's why you have to really, really be careful when you're laying it down because they will move around. And because I'm not making a dashboard, I don't really care if the sheets get out of line. And let me just check something. Okay. Now these two are going to be my covers, so I do kind of want to move them over a little bit further because I don't want the, when I punch the holes, I don't want the pockets to get too sliced into because it will. And I probably could have actually made these a little bit smaller. Well, a little bit less, I'm a little more narrow, but it doesn't bother me too much. So I'm just carefully laying these down to make sure they stay even because trust me, they will shift. And I don't know why my hands are so shaky today, but we're going to get through it. And just for memory's sake, like if you know, if you're doing more than one sheet, you just want to make sure you remember which one is the back and which one is the front cover. So you make sure that your holes won't go too deep in the pocket when you land them. So I just kind of move them a little more to the further ends so the holes won't go in too deep. And then this one on the end, it really doesn't matter to me. Because that's going to be kind of like inside. So let me see. I think I'm going to put it over here. All right, now you just want to carefully roll this over. Roll that beautiful beam footage. And you can kind of look at it and tell, like I said, they're crooked, but it doesn't bother me because as long as my pockets are straight, I'm good. All right, so my pockets are straight. So now what I'm going to do is feed it through the laminator. And I guess y'all want to see that part, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that as well. Okay, so I'm about to feed it through the laminator, and my little back part is broken. But typically this is supposed to stay sturdy, so when you feed it in, you have your guides on each side. So these things are your guides. So when you're picking it up, especially when you have pockets, you want to be extremely careful because once you feed it in, that's it. So I try to just grip where the pockets are and just lightly guide it through. All right, so everything is all fed through. I did have a little mishap So I had to redo these ones because like I was telling you, when you're feeding it through, if it slips and the pocket gets off track, it will be devastation. And just to show you what I was talking about. So, see how this pocket is all the way over here? So I was able to recover one. So we're gonna go ahead and get these cut down to the size that we want. I like to tend to leave a little bit of room. You see how it has like the little seal? I like to cut around the seal just to, I don't know, I just like to cut around the seal. So that's what I like to do. So let's go ahead and get to cutting. All right, for the most part, I like to try to get everything cohesive. And I hope you can see that. Now this one is going to be like an inside pocket, maybe, I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and get this one cut anyway. And I will go and round the corners because the laminate can be a little sharp once you cut it. So I like to go through and laminate those edges. I mean, not laminate them, but cut those edges. Y'all see, this is why I don't talk through this part. Because you can kind of get a little bit off track because I be trying to focus. I am focus driven. Okay. And like I said, I'll round these once I get these all cut. So we can go ahead and cut these ones. And I'm going to cut this in half because these are a little off center, which is no big deal. And typically what I like to do with this, I like to save the little extras because they can be used for something else. So we're going to go ahead and trim this other side. Trim this a little bit. Let's do comparison. So I can get trimmed just a little bit more. And you want to be really, really careful once you get down to the nitty gritty because you would hate to have to waste anything. And once I get these all cut, we'll round the corners. And then we will cut the pockets. And the reason why I like to keep the slicer up first, because this is clear, so it'll allow me to see through where the line is at. Because once you kind of lay it down, it's hard to see. I'll cut a little bit of this bottom. A lot of bit of this bottom, actually. And let's see. Yep, these are good. Maybe take a little tad off of this part. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and round the corners. Because I might just make them interchangeable depending on how I feel. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see. And you want to really be delicate. I prefer to use a metal ruler when I'm cutting this. But you can use whatever kind of ruler that you have, to be honest. And I like to put it, I don't know if you can see again, it's got like a little air pocket here. So that's where you want to actually go in and cut in. And you know that you're cutting that part when you kind of hear the air. It'll be like a little poppy noise or something like that. So I put the ruler right at that line that way. Because if you do it this way, you may tend to, you know, go into the actual pocket, and I don't like to do that because I've done that before. So I just line my ruler up here, and I normally do my first poke to here if I have opened up that air pocket before I do the whole cut, because sometimes you can be off. So I'm gonna do my first little poke. Yep. Uh-oh. And I don't know if y'all could hear that, but that's like the air pocket making its noise. And so then what I just do is go in with my corner of my X-Acto knife to open it up. And I probably didn't go down hard enough because I'd be super nervous I'm going to cut through the paper. So sometimes you got to go back through it one more time. There's nothing wrong with that. You just make sure you follow your guide. Sometimes it's temperamental, but she's open. There you go. So you have your first pocket, and that's open right there. Then we're gonna go ahead and do another one. And if you have something that's skinny to slide it and to open it, that always helps. Like I said, I'm always I always take my time. And I'm about to do, what I just did is a no-no. Anytime you have to go back over it, go back to your ruler, because then you'll end up having like a double line. Sometimes you just have to go over it a couple of times, as you can see. Because again, you don't want to cut too deep, because, I mean, this is the paper on the other side. And you don't want to go in and cut that. So then we're going to do our other one. And you'll know that, see, this one was a little bit easier because I decided instead of to lift it up to go back twice. And you'll know when it's truly open when you start hearing a little bit more paper rather than that kind of ratchet, not ratchet, but sound. So now I have my covers, and I'm going to do this one first. And these, again, were clip arts, and this was digital paper. And I decided to type in my name here on the front that says Her Lovely Plan. So now we're going to go ahead and do my favorite part, is punch holes. So let's go ahead and get to rocking and rolling with that. Now, the reason I say this is my favorite part, because it's actually the hardest part, because I have had this for a while. So sometimes I have some technical difficulties. And I probably do need a new one because, yeah. And that's another reason I use 3mm instead of 5, because this isn't a heavy duty punch. It's typically designed to only cut 3 sheets, and it does say it on the hole punch that it says 3 sheets at a time. And this kind of is equivalent to 3 sheets, so we're going to go ahead and punch the hole now. Okay, you guys, here we go. All right, so I only need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, it is going to cut into the paper, but that does not bother me. So let's go ahead and do this. First one always scares me, and I always kind of flip it over and go like this. Oh, she worked. Yay! And as you can see, my pocket is still doing good. So this is going to be the back, so we want to turn it this way. Yeah, I was nervous on the low. Okay. Flip it like this. Flip it like this. I like that show, y'all. Okay, so now we have our cover. Ooh, I'm excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my disc. And you would do this just like you would do any other happy planner. Start with the covers first and then add your guts. Y'all, I'm excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think I want to switch the papers. So I'm going to do some of these and then some of the other ones. And I like my notebooks chunky, so we got to go ahead and put some of these on the disc. Y'all, this came out good. You got... Okay, come through. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't own the rights to that. I don't know if Cardi B has copyrights on that. Y'all, I am excited. Okay, so we're gonna add this other one. And I'm just gonna, you know, I love a good notebook, a little notepad, whatever the case may be. So I'll probably take this with me or leave it on my desk, who knows, and we're gonna decorate it a little bit. Since we're here, we're gonna decorate a little bit. And I'm gonna put all the paper in here, all the paper. All the paper. And I could actually put this in here, but I don't think I want to do that. Like I said, I could probably use this as an alternate front cover if I choose to. I kind of wish I would have had this in the front, but it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and keep adding paper. Because all this is just going to be a little note. What it is, a micro notes. I'm just going to be putting notes in here. And I might not put this last sheet, this last pack in there. We're going to see once I close it up how it looks. Y'all, this look good. Oh my, okay. Come through. Come through. We're going to go ahead and put it in there because we want this joint chunky. We like healthy planners. Yes. Y'all, I'm hyped. It's good on the go, can leave in the car. Because me and my husband's always looking for something to write something down. Like, you got something to write something with? And yes, I be having my planners, but sometimes I don't want to put certain stuff in there. Okay, yes, this is gorge. Nice and chunky. It's gorgeous. Yes, come through, Keish. Yes. Okay, get your life together. So now we're just going to decorate it a little bit. Now, I really wanted to use these pockets, but they're just a little bit too wide. So I will maybe find another way to use these. So now, let's see. I do want to add some of these in, like, in between. So before we do that, and these are the journaling cards, but you guys know I like to call them pocket cards. So I want to get some of these these acetate die cuts. Now, y'all know I'm not into the skulls. I know you young kids love the skulls, but we're going to put that to the side. I like this one that says Magical Plans. I like this one. And what does this one say? Creative Juice. So we're going to see how we can get these ones to twerking for us. And she does have these little dainty stickers in here. So I do want to kind of lay some of these on the pockets. So let's go ahead and do that. And so I used the silver disc because the deco was silver. Or the foiling was silver, rather. So we're going to get this one off. And I don't want to use all of these because I want to use some of these on my silver pens. Let's see, let's put this star right here. Ooh. Yeah, because I'm going to use some of these on my silver pens because last month I didn't get to use, I'll just use the rose gold ones. So we're going to go ahead and put this down here like so. Along with this. And I wonder, do I have a girl doll stick, die cut. Let's see. Because y'all know I got die cuts for days. This is cute. How about we take this one out? And I did kind of mess the top of this one up, but it's okay. And I like these tweezers that I got from Luscious Labels. She's so cute. Oh, I forgot I had these from when oh yes, come through. Let's take her out. These girls came from Golden Plans Co. She had a, she does mystery kits as well. This is cute. I don't know where that one came from. Let's see. Cause y'all, we can make this cute. Like, just because it's a micro notes don't mean it can't be cute. Cute little book bag. I forgot all about that. Come through. Let's see. Got the feather. And like, I'm not a huge die cut girl, but I like to keep some colors around that I know are colors that I typically gravitate to, so I can use to decorate my pockets. This is cute, but it's gonna be too big. That's cute, but I think I want to put, y'all, now I see, this is what happens when you start pulling stuff out. You find stuff that you get and you want to start using it. Let's see. I feel like it just needs to be something beside her. Let's see. I'm going to take my glue stick because I ran out of the double-sided tape. Just enough to kind of tack it down so it won't move, because I don't like my stuff to be moving around. And we're going to put a little bit behind her. Like so. Okay, come through. Come through with the sauce. And look how easy all of that moves around. It's nice and chunky. And we're going to go ahead and put this backpack here. Let me slide that down some. Y'all, this is why I do voiceovers, because I just be like not having nothing to say. Not intentionally, but I just don't. Let's see. Gotta have a frappuccino in here or something. I might not need that backpack though. Now we're gonna put that right there. Let's put a little bit of glue stick. Cause y'all know I don't like for nothing to be sliding. I think I wanna use, do I wanna use this behind there? No. We're gonna put this magic potion one back over here. Yes, yes. Okay. So I'm just put a little glue right there. Yes, y'all. This is cute. I don't care what you say. Y'all know this is cute. All right, so now what I want to do is use a couple of these to divide up the paper. So I need 1, 2, 3. So this one right here is my fave. She will be going in there. Let's see. I like that one. And time to recharge. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. We just coming from the Plan and Veteran Retreat, and recharge is one of the days. So yeah, so we're gonna do these. So 1 dark and 2 lights. So we're gonna go ahead and get our punch out. Y'all should see my floor. I got so much to mess over here right now. So we'll go ahead and slide this in. And I know it's out of print frame, but y'all pretty much get it. Just put it in there, line it up. All right, so we're going to put this one here. Y'all, this is cute. And I could go through later and add divider tabs, because she did include some divider tabs in here. Where are they at? Which I don't typically use them. So it's only 2. So I may go back and use them depending on if I decide to make categories. And then 1 more. I feel like I need to put 1 in the front to cover this paper. Let's put her right here, because she is coiled. And you could also, if you didn't want to print out your own papers and create your own type of illusion, you could have just used these and just laminated these as well, because as you can see, it covers this up pretty well. And then it would have been a little more sturdier if you're looking for more sturdy. But I wanted to show y'all how I use my digitals from time to time, because a lot of times you don't see how I use my digitals. So let's find the other card, because I dropped it somewhere. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use this one. You're magical. Okay, this one is gonna go right here. So this is just dividing up the sections of the paper, and this is adorable. I love it. Let me know what y'all think, and let me know what you are planning to do with your items that you get with the kit. And as well, if you have any digitals, what you plan on doing with the digital. I really like the touch with adding my own name on here. And again, I use Canva. And it's a free system. You can either put it on your computer or your phone. I also use it on my phone to create all of my thumbnails that you see on my Facebook. I mean, not my Facebook, but on my YouTube videos. But when I tend to do more creative stuff, I tend to go directly to my laptop, because I can save all of my files that I get. Because when you get your digitals, you want to try to save them, because once they go away, they go away. So this is it. I hope you guys like it. If so, you already know what to do. Give me a big old thumbs up and drop me a comment below. And if you have not already done so, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell, so you will never miss any of my videos. So if this has inspired you, go ahead and share this video with your planner friends, so they can also be inspired to create their own lovely plan. So until next time, loves, peace.
Yeah. yeah.